Hi everybody who's watching this live stream. I thought I'd do one and talk to you guys a bit. What I plan to do possibly within this week, coming week maybe, or next week, and probably a few months from now if it's not done very fast. But I thought I'd share with you guys a little something. You guys know that I grow cannabis, obviously, from the videos that were uploaded. But the main thing you guys should know is, as a medical cannabis patient, for the last bit, I've been kind of mulling over the idea of applying for my acmpr, which is access to cannabis for medical production regulation, or medical regulated production, more or less, to get a way to grow my own medicine. I've been looking over it a bit, and there's a lot to really look at. I actually didn't know how much would go into it, but today I looked over it, and to give you guys an idea about the medical cannabis growing, you have to fill out the forms. You have to have permission by a landlord or owner of property in order to ensure that you are given permission to grow on said property or dwelling. And from what I've read, you also have to attest that you were never convicted of any cannabis related offenses 10 years prior to or during said license grant. So basically, you could be deemed ineligible if you have a criminal history involving a cannabis related offense. So it definitely does make things a little trickier, because you're actually dealing with the fact that they want to make sure that they're not licensing someone who has a past criminal offense involving cannabis, which I have none. I've never actually grown a cannabis plant and been apprehended nor charged for anything involving possession of cannabis in any amount, nor cultivation or any other related aspects of cannabis use or possession. So I think that should be good. As to how long it takes, I honestly don't know. It could be a month, it could be months, but I figured I'd let you guys know I'm seriously considering letting my doctor know that I would like to get the forms started for my acmpr so I can produce my own CBD and other strains every spring through summer till fall, so I can actually have a lot of CBD on hand and be able to also produce my other strains that I like to grow alongside for my sleep. But every time I do actually produce any kind of cannabis, or I actually obtain genetics, it's usually for the purpose of having my own medicinal cannabis. And I thought I would give you guys the news that I'm actually considering applying to get my acmpr so I can be a licensed medical cannabis producer for my own personal use and for my own benefit, because it's been a bit rough having a licensed producer that has limited product for sale for me to purchase for my medicine, and the prices are a little bit steep for my licensed producer. When it comes to how much I can produce, it does get a little rough, to put it roughly. Like, they don't have a lot that I can purchase that I would prefer for product, because I tend to enjoy using cannabis flower because I get a faster amount of relief using flower. And I know a lot of licensed producers sell vapes, and I'm not gonna lie, I tried it once and it just didn't do it for me. I prefer using my cannabis water pipe, as stores would call them. I personally call it a bong because that's what it is. But yeah, I prefer using my bong to medicate, and I'm taking as best care of myself as I can. And as you notice over here is Roxy, my guard dog that I have. And with her living with me and being taken care of, it does bring a lot of good exercise for me. And it also is a way of having protection for myself and for my crops. So I don't think anybody is going to try anything like that. Like, all in all, my place is well protected. And my production that I would do would not be extensive. I'm not looking to turn my grow tent and my apartment into a grow op. I'm just looking to produce enough medicine that will last me for a while, and not to go insane with the amount of plants, because I'll probably most very likely be told I can grow up to 10, maybe 12 plants max. So if anything, I'll still have a lot more plants I can actually produce, but I'll stay within the limit of my cannabis production license that I will have, given me the exemption of limit to an extent, and it will actually help me expand the amount of medicine I can cultivate for myself and be able to actually enjoy. But I've been doing a lot of the research on having my cannabis production license, and the idea of having that production license actually is incredibly making me excited, a little nervous, but every new beginning is beautiful if you let it be. And right now, for me, the most beautiful thing I can have happen right now for me is to be able to actually have the ability to cultivate myself some medicine and not have to really rely too much, and still be able to make it over the winter with enough medicine that I'll never have to worry again about if I have to purchase or cultivate my own medicine. And it will absolutely give me that extra flexibility that if I'm low on CBD or other strains, I can actually cultivate my own, starting from seeds, and just purchase whatever I need in the meantime while I wait for my production of my medicine to actually grow. And that will be nice for me. And in the distant future, I'll probably most very likely have to look at getting separate nutrients, because there is a very strong possibility that I will need to get photoperiodic nutrients and follow a photoperiodic feeding schedule, as well as getting a lot of grow bags for the amount of flower that I will be producing. Because if it is a photoperiodic plant, which in most cases it is, I'm going to have quite a few pounds of pot to last me for a while, unless I decide to keep going with autoflowers, which I usually prefer because it's a lot easier to cultivate and a lot easier to produce. And if you actually do get auto flowers and you do produce enough flower from them, it gives you the ability to actually have what you need and never have to worry about being dependent on seasonal stuff when you have bags of fresh homegrown that are already dried, cured, and ready to go, where you just more or less have to pick a bag out of your stash spot that is secure, where you can just pretty much be like, okay, I'm out of this bag. I can go to my storage and I can grab another bag of fresh homegrown and keep going and keep myself medically enlightened and enabled with the amount of medical cannabis I could actually cultivate. But until I actually have the ability to legally have an acmpr application processed and be approved, I cannot purchase any more stuff to grow, because in Canada, it's illegal to produce more than 4 plants recreationally. Medicinally, you need an acmpr that gives you the exemption from the limit for medical purposes. So I just want everybody to know that there may actually, in the distant future or near future, be a chance that I can actually cultivate more plants if I actually am approved by my acmpr. I want everybody to keep their fingers crossed and keep me in your thoughts, because I honestly hope that I can actually get my acmpr and I can grow some more of the Harlequin CBD auto, because I would love to cultivate a few more of those and be able to actually have relief. I find that one strain is quite sufficient, and it actually very much helps me a lot. So if I can keep cultivating a bunch of those plants and keep going, then there's a strong chance that I can actually have enough medicine that I won't have to worry for a while. And I would love to grow a few of those for my own personal consumption. But I thought I'd let you guys know. And I know this is not a very long live, but I have to cut it a little short, you guys. My dog wants to eventually have food, and then I have to take her for a walk. So, there's a lot that's going on during this grow season. But the main thing you guys got to know is me and Roxy are gunning for a good grow season, and we're hoping everything goes amazing. And as you can tell, my grow tent is lit up because I have about 3 plants in there right now. The 4th plant that I had didn't turn out. It didn't even make it that far. I basically had a sick plant and it died. So I'm still seeing what happens, but as you guys can hear in the background, my dog is whimpering. She wants to go out, and she's not going to let me be until she gets her coat on, her muzzle, her leash, and we go for a walk. So I'm going to let you guys go while my dog literally whimpers and is relentless, like having a hemorrhoid. I love her to death, but she's very impatient. So while she whimpers in the background that you guys can hear, I'm going to let you guys go. Stay uplifted, stay blazed, and I'm off to take this bitch for a walk.